You're listening to the AstroMommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the AstroMommy community. I hope you enjoyed today's horoscope and card reading. If you would like to support the AstroMommy Newsletter, there are several ways to do so. Subscribe on Substack, share it with a friend, schedule a reading, check out my family's Etsy shop, Metaphysical Flamingo, or just leave a tip. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Fated YOD between the Moon, Mercury, and Neptune on the Judgement card. Daily Horoscope for Monday, February 6, 2023. Good morning, friends. Okay, let's get into the astrology. The moon will leave the sign of Leo today and ingress into the sign of Virgo in the late afternoon on the East Coast. But before she does, she will make some pretty distant aspects. Early in the morning, around 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time, the moon formed a YOD, a finger of God, to Mercury and Neptune, who are perfecting a sextile today in the afternoon at 1:25 p.m. Eastern Time. So this energy will be with us throughout the day and until tomorrow. Let's talk about this YOD that is forming between the moon, Mercury, and Neptune. A YOD is a special transit that involves at least 3 planets and forms a narrow triangle-shaped aspect between the 3. The base of the triangle is a sextile, a 60-degree angle between 2 planets, a harmonious aspect representing an opportunity, and in this case, this is between Mercury in Capricorn and Neptune in Pisces. Then those 2 planets each make a quincunx, a 150-degree angle, which is not a harmonious aspect, but one that represents change and separation, with a 3rd planet forming the apex of the triangle. In this case, the apex planet is the moon in Leo. So a YOD represents a crisis point, where the energies are stressed and the planets have to figure out how to work with each other through some sort of uncomfortable compromise, usually one that feels fated in some way. Hence the nickname for a YOD is the Finger of God. Mercury and Neptune in a sextile, which remember has already happened 2 times during Mercury's retrograde cycle, this afternoon marking the 3rd and final time, as Mercury is leaving the shadow period by about 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time tonight, is an aspect that affects us on a personal level, Mercury being a personal planet that rules over the mind, forms of communication, and our environment, and Neptune, an outer planet known as the god of the sea, who connects us with our spiritual, intuitive, and deeply emotional higher self. The effect of a sextile between the 2 in Capricorn and Pisces could be one that brings forth more imaginative, idealistic, and inspirational thinking, as well as more interest in poetry, music, religious verses or text, old books, movies about history, or any sort of artistic expressions through words, pictures, or sounds that inspires people in some way. So this transit is the base of the YOD. Then we have the moon forming 2 quincunxes to each planet. The moon and Neptune may bring up confusion about your circumstances, disappointment, loss, self-deception, illness, escapism, sadness or grief caused by a woman, and even concerns about a significant female figure in your life, most notably a mother figure. The moon quincunx Mercury brings up things like communication being unreliable, feeling nervous and talking too much, or being on the receiving end of gossip or lies. This could also indicate travel difficulties. So this transit could be really challenging, but also enlightening in some way. After the moon makes her quincunx to Mercury and Neptune, she forms yet another quincunx to Pluto and Capricorn at 1:39 p.m. Eastern Time, which could bring up more intense feelings and a more profound separation or change that is transformational on a very deep level. The moon will then make her ingress into the sign of Virgo at 4:13 p.m. Eastern Time and won't make any more aspects until after midnight tonight. Feels like this is a very intense start to the week. After a very full and possibly exciting or surprising weekend, this Monday morning feels powerful. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for today? 20. Judgment. On this card, we see naked men, women, and children rising from their coffins amidst a sea of water, holding their arms outstretched, heads tilted to the sky, looking at Archangel Gabriel, who is the messenger of God, playing a trumpet in the clouds. They are rising up to his call, ready to be judged before being allowed to enter heaven. The angel has gold hair, red wings, and a white flag with a red cross attached to the trumpet, symbolizing balance restored through the 4 directions, the 4 stages of life: birth, childhood, adulthood, and death, and the 4 elements: fire, earth, air, and water. It is also a symbol of proclamation and heralding a message that he has from the divine. 20, the Judgment card, is all about rising up and embracing a new calling from your highest self. It can indicate a life-changing decision that needs to be made using the blend of your intellect and intuition, like the Mercury sextile Neptune transit that is perfecting today. As the card for the day, I feel this is about tuning into the guidance from your higher self and trusting your judgment. You may be at a crossroads where whatever decision you need to make will start a new chapter in your life, and there will be no turning back, but you have learned from the past, cleansed and healed old wounds, and now you are ready to heed the call of the trumpet and embark upon the next part of your spiritual path. Let me know if this reading resonates with you in the comments. I hope this is helpful. Until tomorrow, AstroMommy.
Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from the A.E. Waite Holographic Tarot, available on Amazon. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletter, so I will make a small commission, but there are no additional costs to you. I don't share or recommend things that I don't 100% believe in and use myself. Thanks for listening.